$1,000 from Target. It's never that serious. Like, come on. Good morning. The moment of truth. So scared.
Is it broke?
Every day, I've been trying to wake up earlier and earlier and earlier. And today is one of the earliest days that I've woken up because I actually woke up before my alarm woke up at 7:30. No assistance. Yes, the person who could barely get out of bed before 11 a.m. is waking up at 7:30 again with no alarm. The alarm clock that I use right now is a Hatch alarm clock, and a lot of people ask me about it. I have like the version 2 of it. I literally use that as like a timer on when I should be getting out of bed instead of it waking me up. Now I do sleep till 8 sometimes, which is my normal wake up time, but I'm about to bump it up to 7:45 and eventually 7:30, 7:15, 7, and then maybe we'll dive into the 6s in a couple months. I'm really proud of me being able to wake up with no alarm. Like, we really came a long way in such a little amount of time. Knowing that I struggle mentally in the summertime, but I still persevere to make sure that my routine was set into place. Yeah. Hi divas. Hi. We have made it to our work location for the day because you know what today is? Tuesday. So we're here with Jarvis for our weekly.
That was super whack.
It's giving Princess Diana. Hey.
Bow. Bow down to the queen, bitches. Bow.
I think we're gonna do a mini catch up because we didn't meet last Tuesday because life was in fact lifing. So we need to do a mini catch up of what I've been doing, what you've been doing. Correct. Personally, professionally, that type of vibe. And then I'm thinking also probably podcast planning today. If not today, tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, we definitely, what we need to do, we'll lightly touch on podcasts today. We'll definitely go over different posts and different avenues that we want to take.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of series that Aliyah's looking to do.
But I have to wait due to brand obligations. Like, for example, I have a deal that doesn't allow me to talk about any of their competitors, even if it's not like a brand deal. Like, I can't talk about it organically. So if you see me responding to comments but ignoring like, what do you edit with, or like, how do you plan your content, it's because I legally am contractually not allowed to say it, or else they will be contacting legal. So after a wee bit of working, I thought it would be fun and fresh if I kind of talked about having a team in the digital social media age. I have been a one-woman show, and I'm still primarily a one-woman show. I would say like 90% of the time when it comes to production and stuff, but when it comes to the stuff that nobody wants to do, like emails, audits, that's what I have a team for. I have been signed to a agency that is like a partnership / they're my managers. They help me develop podcasts. If I want to do merch, they help with that. They do the brand deal stuff. They also handle legal, and they do a bunch of other stuff I probably don't even know. They're really my baseline for that type of work, but when it comes to more day-to-day, that's where Jarvis steps in. I've been looking for an assistant for over a year. I started looking for one in 2024 and nobody was just doing it for me. Like, I was looking for people. I posted like forms and stuff on Instagram like, hey, if you're in the Charlotte area, I would love to have like an intern, and nobody just really fit me personality wise. Something was just always like off, you know what I mean? And people weren't really like in the know for things that like I needed them to know. I eventually gave up because one thing I'm gonna do is in fact give up when things are hard, because I am not one of God's strongest soldiers, and I'm one of those where like, if it's meant to be, it'll happen, so I'm taking my hands off. Fast forward the end of 2025, I get a little DM from somebody who stopped me for Fashion Week, to the nines, mind you, and we talk about this more in the podcast. I'm not gonna say too much, but essentially Jarvis reached out. I was like, let's do it. It's been literally nothing but giggles and shenanigans, but usually on a day-to-day basis, he will usually do like audits for me if I need to come up with some ideas, or like building up concepts for stuff, especially when it comes to shoots and styling. Easy to just do it all by yourself, but I always have to remember you don't have to do everything by yourself, and if somebody gets it,
baby, they get it. They 100% get it.
Literally the second brain. Like, honestly, it's kind of insane, and it takes a level of delirium to be this tapped in, but we're both on the same wavelength at all times, so it's like, what does that say about it? But no, it's been so fun having a team, and I feel like I don't really share like too much about it, because I feel like that's like the boring part, and people are in the era of like, we hate influencers, we hate content creators, so I'm just like, let me shut up and eat my food and tell y'all how to make your quality look good on TikTok. currently here at the Apple Store. I'm literally just waiting for them to bring my phone out because I literally ordered it online earlier, pick up today, and we'll set up when we get home. Should I tell them the story? My phone?
Yes.
Okay, so my phone has been tweaking out for a little while, and it really started when I was in New York, and you guys have seen that vlog. I didn't really say anything in that vlog because I got my battery replaced, and I just thought it was a battery problem. A few weeks go by, I am on the phone. My phone does a hard reset for no reason. It was not overheating, it was not doing anything. It is a hard reset. I'm on FaceTime, it hard resets. It comes to while I'm still on FaceTime. Then last night I was on the phone, like verbal phone with one of my friends, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna FaceTime you. Say, what is the earpiece? Like, I want the earpiece. I call FaceTime, he answer, and I'm saying like jokes, I'm talking, whatever, he's not answering. I'm sitting here like, that's weird. Maybe he's like reading something. Oh, my phone's here.
You're all set. Y'all have a good day. Okay?
Amazing. Thank you so much. I was on FaceTime and he wasn't answering. So I was like, that's weird. And all of a sudden, he hang up in my face. I call him back twice, no answer. And then he calls me back and I'm like, that's really rude. Like, you hung up in my face and then you didn't answer my calls. He was like, what do you mean hung up in your face? I said, hung up in my face on FaceTime. He said, girl, I never got a FaceTime call from you and I never accepted the FaceTime. Mind you, I actively see him talking on the phone, ignoring me talk. So, to say this was overdue is an understatement.
Lindsay was telling me about the movie.
I'm gonna try it.
I can do it for a minute.
Little ASMR. It's heavy, wow. It literally only comes with one charger. Ridiculous if you ask me. Many of you may or may not know, I do in fact have a podcast that I upload every single Wednesday to over here on YouTube and on Spotify. And I actually have somebody who helps me edit the podcast and do some of the clips for the podcast. It's actually one of my good old friend Miles, who I've been friends with since I literally was a teenager. So I'll literally upload the raw footage of the podcast to this website that we use called frame.io, which allows you to upload files and share them with people. Miles will go in and edit the audio file and the video file, like if there's any swearing or anything, add the podcast music, the fade ins, the fade out, and just get that ready for me so I can upload that later in the weeks on Monday or Tuesday so I can schedule it for Wednesday. So right now, the podcast video file for YouTube and the audio file for Spotify is downloading to my computer right now. And I think while this is downloading, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do my homework for the day, which is tune into the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special, which is on Disney Plus. I look like iPad baby. Currently here with Jarvis. He's sitting across from me and we're having like a mini admin day because I think the big heavy hitter for today and the goal for today is going to be filming for the podcast. We're gonna do a joint episode, and this will I guess this is the guest episode for April, right? Because I don't have one for April. Perfect. Hey, because I did not have one, because the goal is to have a guest every single month and I didn't have one for this month. I am back home now, and if you didn't know that, that means that you are not sitting and watching this video, which means you're probably sitting here playing this in the background as you do 5,000 other things because you constantly need to be stimulated to do one thing. You need to fix your attention span. Come sit down and watch this video. I'll give you a second. Thank you. Now that you're sitting down, let's go ahead and give you a little update. Like I just said, I am back home now from my little admin workshop day at the coffee shop with Jarvis. And if you thought that was gonna be the only work that we did today,
You're absolutely insane.
so we actually went ahead and split up and are going to reconvene at my house after Jarvis gets some lunch. I'm gonna eat a little something as well as clean up the podcast room, set up for the podcast. I'm going to do the stuff that I do not need Jarvis here to do, which is clean up and set up the podcast room so we can film the podcast as soon as we do our admin stuff. What comes with setting up the podcast room today is a little bit exciting. For the episode, we thought it would be fun if we decorated the podcast room just a little bit and also had outfits that resemble or are close to something that Hannah would wear, because we're literally spending this entire episode talking about Hannah Montana. So let's go ahead and set the podcast room up for filming today. Not the right color. What the hell? Here we have my Rodecaster Pro 2, which is what I shoot my podcast on. So basically the mics and stuff are plugged into this, and then this is plugged into this camera, which is a Sony a7 IV, which is what I film all my visuals on. Yeah, this is pretty much the setup, and this is the stew. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was kind of fun. On the floor. Hey.
I'm about to get in the bus! Now, imagine our surprise when we're looking for Hannah wigs. And do you know how hard it is to get a middle part bust down balayage 613 wig with bangs? Party City. I'm going to mourn you every single day to the day I die, because you know who would have had it? Party City. You know who needs to come back? Party City. You know who I'm always going to be sad about? Party City. Fine with that. Not only did I start my day with walking and getting some coffee, but also I just got tickets to see Zach Fox. So I'm just completely on a high today that I cannot further describe. I'm getting even more excited because I just got paid from a brand, and I thought I would briefly walk through what it looks like whenever I get paid from a brand. So whenever I do brand deals, I get a lump sum of money depending on how much we agreed on within the contract, how much they could do budget, and how much my team could talk them up. So I did a brand deal back in December with NYX, and we had a net 60, I believe. How many days after they get the invoice from the completed deal, that's when I get my money. So I went ahead and got my money straight to my bills account, and I have this little table based on if I have a high income month versus a low income month with percentages, and these percentages tell me how much of each paycheck I get goes to what part of my life. So for example, I have a monthly expenses / bills account that I have that always gets the direct deposit from my team, and that is where I divvy out the money. I always like to do this as soon as I get paid, just so it's not something that gets put on the back burner. I still like to make sure I get everything allocated so I can budget in what services I can afford for the next month, making sure I can pay for what's happening this month, and usually that's always the case, but I like to double triple check by doing this. Also, before I forget, whenever it's nice out, I absolutely have to let some fresh air into my home, because if not, I feel like I'm low-key gonna lose my mind. So that door stay propped open. I want to talk about something that I feel like I never talk about on here as I just did my finances, which is how much I actually get paid as a content creator. I have a few sources of income, but by far my brand deals is the highest one, and I feel like a lot of people don't talk about exactly how much brand deals pay. I feel like everybody knows that that's like the bread and butter for content creators, because the brand side, that's where the money resides. I don't get too involved when it comes to the brand dealing and pitching and how much my rates are. I have a management team for that. I've been signed with Matter Media for about to be 6 years. This upcoming May 29th is actually my birthday. I turned 18 during COVID, and my birthday gift to myself was signing to my management team, and they do a lot of the back and forth and negotiating when it comes to how much I get paid, how much work I'm gonna put in based on how much they want to pay me. They talk about exclusivity, blackout dates, and whatnot, and they do all that. The reason you never see me talk about or hear me talk about how much I get paid and how much I charge for rates, it's because I prefer to keep that out of my vision and give it to somebody else to do it. I'm still very much involved. Like, they'll text me and ask me, hey, do you want to do this for this? Or they'll just send an offer straight to my email and I can say yes or no. But usually I'm just not involved unless it's saying yes or no to said campaign. Now, with that being said, you're probably wondering, Aliyah, how much do you get paid from doing brand deals? I'm not gonna lie, it's a very big range because a lot of brands have a lot of different budgets, but I will say the most expensive brand deal I have ever gotten paid for was actually back in 2021, and I kid you not, it was for $80,000 from Target. Now, I didn't keep all of that money. I have to give 20% to my management because, girl, why would I not pay them for doing all that work for me? But when I worked with Target way back when, I actually worked with them for like 6 months for a certain lump sum of money and then another revisit from them the same year. If I remember properly, I made over $100,000 from Target collectively before my team took their 20%. I kept the rest of the 80. And it's crazy how the times have changed because I got paid that much way back in the day for a lot more work, but now a lot of people get that same amount of money for a lot less work. A YouTube video can easily take days to make if you want it to be super duper duper good quality and highly detailed, but there's some people who literally get $80,000 for like a TikTok. Like, it's kind of insane. Like, it's kind of deranged. It's very dystopian. I have to respect it if you try to get into this because this is a very like well-funded industry, and it's been able to make me live a very, very, very comfortable life with different employees, different teams, Since then, metrics and priorities with brands have changed, so now a lot of of people prefer really good quality content over views and stuff like that. If you ever see somebody whose views aren't the same as they were, but they always get a lot of brand deals, it's probably because the quality of their videos is pulling the brands in, which is why I always do quality over quantity no matter where I'm posting. I mistakenly did not give myself the allocated time to take my ADHD meds today, so I am completely ready to crash and take a nap at 2:26. I want to make a matcha because I'm sleepy, but I don't have any milk, so we need to run to the store. Let's make our matcha. Today was gonna be one of those days where I actually was gonna go out and go to a coffee shop again, but considering we just spent the past 2 days in a row out, I thought I should actually show you a realistic day of what it's like staying home and working from home, because girl, as much as I would love to go out every day to do work, that's just not feasible, and in this economy, not that smart. My big 3 for the day. I actually got a video back from my editor, Andrea, that I have to look over for revisions. I originally was gonna look over the revisions yesterday when I got them, but I was like, you know what? Let's go to sleep at a decent time. I doubt there's gonna be a lot because she always does a fantastic job with my video edit. Considering we've been working together for so long, kind of just get each other.
We see each other.
And then I also have to edit a podcast today. Another big to-do today would also be edit a YouTube video. I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to be able to do. I need to stop doing this thing where I film videos and I just sit on the footage and then wonder why it takes me so long to get videos up, because I need to get in the habit of filming, uploading the footage when I'm done with that day, or just uploading the footage when it's done and just begin editing it and just finishing it closer to the film date instead of waiting like days/weeks to actually finish up the edit, because it's better to be ahead than be behind. And that's something I definitely want to practice in Q2 since we are officially in it. Welcome back to the studio. I hope you guys missed it, because I know I did, and I decided to come down and work down here today because I want to work on the big Bahama Mama monitor. While we do the revisions, I'm gonna upload and import the footage from the podcast so we can do 2 things at the same time, so we're working smarter, not harder. Just say hi.
Hey. Hey. How y'all doing?
If I told you what time it was, you'd probably beat me. I just finished editing, exporting, and uploading my podcast episode. I'm not gonna lie, the way I was getting more flashbacks to how I used to work on my YouTube stuff back in high school today.
Morning, what can I help you?
Girl.
Insane, to say the least. I used to not allow myself basic human rights. So for example, food, water, even showers until I finished videos. Yes, I was not well in the head, but that's not the point. Well, kind of it is. I basically unintentionally did the same thing today, and when I tell you, this does not feel good. I literally was thinking for the past like 2 hours, damn I'm thirsty, damn I'm thirsty, damn I'm thirsty. Yeah, because the only thing you had today was a matcha and a few sips of Sprite. It's just like, girl, it's never that serious. Like, come on. Considering I'm on medication for my attention deficit disorder, I start something and that medication's kicked in, oh baby, I'm focused on that for the next like 8 hours. Like, there's really no in between. So that was my fault for not prepping my workspace for that type of day, but you know, we're not gonna get it perfect every single time, and today was just one of those days where I definitely did not get it right in the slightest today, but you know what? That's why I love tomorrow. I did in fact finish the 2 biggest my knees hurt. My knees hurt.
Hi, everybody.
A lot of people always ask me for advice and stuff and whatnot on being productive and this, that, and the third. And it's like, girl, I am assisted by my insurance with them paying for my ADHD meds, and I have nothing but that and a vibe to go off of, and that's how I'm productive. And clearly, I'm still figuring out ways to balance it, and I still have slip-ups in days where I literally accidentally and sometimes intentionally deprive myself of things I deserve in order for me to just get something done. I don't know if that's ADHD talking or I'm really just having some issues, but you know, sometimes I need something to not necessarily work towards, but I feel like it's a lot more rewarding. Do not psychoanalyze me in the comments, because I could not take that today, please. I'm so tired. This is the latest I've been out the bed in literally weeks at this point, and y'all know I've been working on getting my schedules back together and whatnot, so the fact that I just threw it off for a post, I better be able to wake up on time tomorrow morning. I'm not playing. So it is the next day and I actually decided to do a little bit of maintenance off of camera. So I got my nails done, I washed my hair, I'm feeling like a brand new person, and whenever I'm feeling like that means it's probably a good foundation for a film day. So that's exactly what we are going to be doing. Makeup by Mario actually sent me 3 of their new, I think they're called the Surreal Skin foundations. So I went ahead and swatched, got the one that's closest to me, and this shade match is actually kind of insane. So I'm really excited to use it today. This definitely isn't an ad, and the TikTok's not going to be an ad, but I feel like if somebody sends me something, the least I can either do is post a story about it, or when it comes to beauty videos, make a video about it. So that's gonna be the first thing that we film / use today. So I'm gonna do a mini get ready with me testing the foundation mixed with my normal makeup routine, while also using only a F1 brush from Makeup by Mario. Here she is, woman of the hour in all her glory. She's back. I took so much longer than I originally thought, especially to film the YouTube video. I ended up filming for almost an hour. How does somebody take an hour to talk about what's in their bag? Completely above me, but it's done. I did my movie wrap up, I filmed TikToks, and you know what? We are so back. So I'm celebrating with a little bit of a burger, and while I eat my burger, I'm gonna get excited about my movie tonight while also importing the footage straight to my computer. Much as I would love to cut the workday here, girl, the day not over yet. I can still do something for the next like hour and a half. Nothing feels more rewarding than checking something off your to-do list and getting a reward after. The way I never filmed the outro for this video. Big yikes. Here we are. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. It's definitely on the longer side, so if you stay to the end of this video, I really want you to let me know by commenting this, sorry on my computer, this emoji right here to let me know you are a real one. You guys seem to really like the work week / productive week in my life vlogs, so I definitely want to keep doing them a little bit more frequently if you guys don't mind, because I love my job more than anything. You guys make it so wonderful. So I would love to share the behind the scenes of that kind of stuff with you all. This is YouTube, you know the drill. If you like the video, like, comment, leave me something to read, subscribe if you're not a part of the family. It's absolutely free to do all 3 of those things, so you might as well do it because you don't even lose anything not to, so you might as well. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into this week in my life vlog. Let me know what other type of work related or content creation type of videos you want to see in the comments down below. If you already left me a comment, just leave me another one or edit your comment, because I definitely want to read it and I appreciate your insight wholeheartedly. And with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video right here. I hope you all enjoyed it once again, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Bye, you guys.